Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss with you parties and liability of parties to negotiable instrument. Parties to negotiable instrument. Maker. The maker is a person who promises to pay a certain sum of money to the other person. The maker of promissory note makes a note, signs it and gives to other party with a promise to pay definite amount of money on certain date. The maker is the debtor who promises creditor to make payment to him on specified date with certain amount of money. Pay. The pay who is entitled to receive money due on a negotiable instrument. In promissory note, pay is the receiver of money to whom the promise is being made regarding payment. In bill of exchange, drawer is pay who makes the bill and orders the other party to make payment to him. In check, drawer is the pay. Drawer. The person who draws or makes the bill of exchange is called drawer. In case of check, drawer is the customer who draws the check on his bank. Drawee, the person who is directed to pay the amount of bill of exchange is called drawee. Drawee is specified banker in public or private sector in case of check. Acceptor. The drawer of bill of exchange orders a certain drawee to pay a certain sum of money mentioned in the bill. When the drawee signs his assent on the bill by writing the word accepted on the bill and sign the same, he is known as the acceptor of the bill. The liability of drawee arises only after he has accepted the bill of exchange. Drawee in case of need. Sometimes more than one drawee may be mentioned in a bill of exchange. If first drawee does not honor the bill, then the drawer may resort to the second drawee. The second drawee is called drawee in case of need. Acceptor for honor. In case bill has been dishonored and any person who accepts the bill of exchange for the honor of the drawee or endorser is known as acceptor for honor. Acceptance for honor can be made only after the bill of exchange has been noted or protested for non-acceptance or for better security. Endorser. When a person who is the holder of a negotiable instrument transfers his right to another person by putting his signature on the instrument or on attached sheet of paper is called endorser. Endorsee is a person in whose favor the endorsement is made, which means that person in whose favor the negotiable instrument has been transferred by an endorsement. Holder. The holder is a person who holds instruments and is the owner of the instrument. The holder is pay in case of promissory note, drawer in case of bill of exchange and customer in case of check. Holder in due course. Holder in due course means any person who for consideration became the possessor of the promissory note, bill of exchange or check if payable to bearer, pay or endorsee before the amount mentioned in it became payable and without having sufficient cause to believe that any defect existed in title of the person from whom he derived his title. Now let's discuss liability of parties to negotiable instrument. Liability of a maker of a promissory note. The liability of the promissory note arises when he signs on the note and delivers the same to the person in whose favor it has been made. He makes an unconditional undertaking to pay the amount on the note on certain date. Liability of the acceptor of bill of exchange. Bill of exchange contains an unconditional order and the drawee becomes liable on the bill when he accepts to pay the amount on specified date. The acceptor becomes primarily liable to pay the amount on the bill on its maturity. Liability of the drawer of bill of exchange. The drawer of bill of exchange or check makes an implied promise to pay the sum in case drawee or acceptor makes default in payment. Hence, the liability of drawer arises if the drawee or acceptor of a bill of exchange or a check does not pay. Liability of the endorser. The liability of the endorser arises when drawee of negotiable instrument does not pay on due date of the instrument. The liability of endorser is same as drawer. It arises upon non-payment of the duty by those whose liability is primary and unconditional. Liability of the drawee of a check. The drawee is the banker. The drawee can be made liable if drawee wrongfully dishonors the check, even if there were sufficient funds in account of customer. There is an implied undertaking to honor the customer's check if there is sufficient funds in customer's account. Liability of the prior parties to holder in due course. Even prior parties, that is, the parties to whom the instrument was transferred before it came in the hands of holder in due course to a negotiable instrument, is liable to a holder in due course until the payment of the instrument is completely discharged. Thank you. I hope you like the content.